Final race of the day at Sha Tin, race number 11. We finish off with a Class 2, 1,400 metres to trip, the Viva Pitaka handicap. California Whip, good run down the straight last time behind Speedy King, a two-time course and distance winner. Starling City, course and distance first time. Gold Chest, down in class, down in trip. He's the one for us. First up for the season, barrier 14 for him. Fast Most Furious behind Flying Thunder last time out. Perfect Glory last up winner goes up in class. My Darling first up since February, and down to Kazi Farazi, who'd won 2 on the bounce, and then third to Champion's Way. Last time out, £5 off his back. Perfect Glory, New Asia Sunrise and Regency Bobo, the horses that have been up at Chung Fa Top.
Interesting race, this final race on the card. You've got Starling City, who's drawn gate number 12, and you'd say he's got enough pace to potentially try and cross. A horse with a wide stall is He's the One for us. We've seen him show pace in the recent runs that he's produced. Regency Bobo, another one that has pace. Kazi Farazi is also another one that has pace, and My Darling has got gate number 11, so potentially could get caught wide with Perfect Glory, but the few that do show a bit of pace in their runs.
Let's have a look at He's the One for us. He's a very interesting runner. You can see him working here with Full of Beauty. Worth noting, he's back from a stress fracture. He will be 55 pounds heavier than what he last raced for a long, long break. Perfect Glory, last start winner at the Valley. He's going to try and transfer that form now to Sha Tin. He's come up with an awkward gait, but he did a lot of nice work up at Chun Fa prior to his win at the Valley, and he continues to work well. Doing most of his time away from the racecourse, of course, on race day at Chun Fa. And My Darling, another one that goes in fresh, quite well rated now. Ran really well behind Lean Perfection, but had a little bit of a lameness setback, but seems to have overcome that.
All right, OK, straight into the action. Let's start off with Fast Most Furious, who fares best here with Starling City, New Asia Sunrise, Cock Campbell on debut. Sea Ride Dragon was on debut as well, all behind Flying Thunder. Yeah,
there's a fair bit to digest, isn't there? I think the run from Fast Most Furious, definitely a good performance. Starling City was mediocre for me. Obviously, there's a couple of very talented horses in this race, Full of Beauty and the eventual winner Flying Thunder. I actually like the run of Cock Campbell. I thought he got home nicely. I think he'll come on quite noticeably second up, and I'm going to include him, but there's a bit to look at here.
There was Fast Most Furious dashing through late. Another horse we showed in that New Asia Sunrise, he's been wide, no cover his last 2, and Starling City has won a recent trial since.
He got going a little bit late there, Starling City, but...
He got a bit of a bump from Flying Thunder, but Flying Thunder did pick him up and put him down. We're going to have a look at that trial now with Starling City out in front. Up to the 1,400 metres. He's done all his winning, 5 wins down the straight 1,000 so far.
Yeah, they're trying something different with him. James McDonald jumping on board for the first time. You can see him on the inside of their Noble Steed also in this trial as well. You can see him galloping down the outside from the rear of the field there. Had a good kick, I thought, in this trial. Last start he was caught wide, but he did have a bit of cover. He made some ground late. I thought it was a good enough barrier trial. Interesting is at 1,400 for the first time.
Yeah, he's obviously a talented galloper. Noble Steed's flying at the moment. That was just a little brush off the cobwebs for him.
And this is He's the One for us. It was involved in that thrilling race on the final day of last season, but first up this time.
He is first up. He's got a wide barrier. He's had a stress fracture to his left front. He's 55 pounds heavier than what he was at the end of last season. He's been pushed on to win this trial. I'll be very keen to see what Jenny says, but this is a strong race. He's a very talented horse, no doubt. I'm going to sit and watch first. I'm not quite sure.
I'm going to take a chance with him.
Yeah.
He's at a good price at the moment, and he's actually had 2 trial wins coming into this and a second placing.
All right, Kazi Farazi in an open final event. Brad is our favourite.
He is. I'm going to go for some value here, Andrew. I'm going to take a chance with the horse to follow that you made, Cock Campbell. I thought he ran really well first up from an awkward gate. He's drawn better. He's a bit of a lanky type, but he's got long legs and covers the ground really well, and obviously arrived here on a rating of 83 for a reason. Noble Steed's the hardest to beat for me. He's flying at the moment, Noble Steed, and I think whatever beats him will probably win. California Whip put in a bottler behind Speedy King over the 1,000, and Gold Chest, a real good run from him too, back behind Time to Celebrate. So 9, 8, 1 and 3.
I'm not keen on the barrier draw of He's the One for us, but I like him as a type. He's got plenty of ability. He's got some good natural pace, and if he can get a good run from gate 14, not do too much work, I think he can be right there. 14 goes in Kazi Farazi, £5 claim. He's up in class here from that win 2 runs ago, but he was very good last start, I thought. 2 goes in Starling City. Next best is 8 Noble Steed. He didn't like the all-weather, I think, last time out, so we're prepared to give him the benefit of the doubt. 4, 14, 2 and 8.
All right, yeah, and much like Brett, I will follow in Cock Campbell. Say, a horse to follow off that first run. I think he could go well at a big price. Now, as far as the stat is concerned, heading into this meeting, Zach Purton, absolutely flying.
That he is. Last 10 meetings, a win strike rate of 31.25% with 25 wins from 80 rides. And the scale goes down the right way too, 12 seconds, 5/3. Look at the book he's got there on Sunday. Athero Yichong Lucky Thanks Forever, who's another one who goes in quite heavy on the weight scale as opposed to his last start. Beauty Loyal, Little Giant in the sprint. Dan Control, Exultant in the Champions and Chater.
They've all got chances, all got genuine winning chances.
Yeah. We spoke about potentially Zach breaking the all-time record briefly on Wednesday. It's very, very possible.
All right, best bets then. What have you got for us, Brett?
Right, I'm going to take one early, Supreme Plus, race 2, number 8. I do like Lockheed as well, but I'll go with 2-8, and if he wins, I'll be going all up Lockheed. Sam's Loves my long shot. Potentially they might try and lead on him if they can. If they don't, I think he can still run a good race at a price. And the play is in the last, California Whip Gold Chest Noble Steed, Cock Campbell, QQP. I think it's a race you can find some value in.
Righto, best for me is in the big one, the Champions and Chater Cup. Exultant, race 8, horse 1 for Zach Purton and Tony Cruz. Long shot comes up in race 10, number 9, Super Elegance. Speed might not be totally suitable for him this time round. I think he can run a race. And the play with the Champion Supreme, Vinci, Righteous Doctrine and Super Elegance in that 10th race. All
right, best for me. Back to the sprint, Sha Tin, Wishful Thinker. Great record this season. Bit of a blip in Dubai, but the trial coming in is good. And Cock Campbell in the last. Tony Millard, Grant Van Niekerk team up with him. As far as the play's concerned, Little Giant, Wishful Thinker and Full of Beauty. Don't think we'll be too far away with that QQP. All right, that just about wraps up our Standard Charters Champions and Chater Cup Racing to Win special. You might have heard Brett mention being naked a couple of times throughout the course of the show. The reason for that is at lunch last week, we were talking about Happy Grin. As a throwaway remark, I said, if he wins, I'll walk home naked. And Brett has taken hold of that and is looking forward to Happy Grin winning.
We don't get an opportunity to...
I didn't say where I'd walk home
put you in a corner very often, Andrew.
Fact, but,
yeah. No, I just recall saying something about blonding my hair once against Umberto Rispoli, and that almost went horribly wrong. So... let's hope for your concern and everybody in the paddock.
Everybody else's as well, I think,
that,
yes.
He runs well for Mr. Hattori and Mr. Tanaka.
Yep, I wish them well.
Be a long walk around that coast road home.
That's the show. Thanks for watching. On behalf of Brett, Tom and the rest of the team. Hopefully see you at Sha Tin on Sunday. We'll be racing to win.
Good night.